Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Council of Ginseng Masters round reviews. Today we are covering rounds 8, 9, and 10, some of the last rounds of this tournament going into the finale. It's very exciting stuff, and we are again here with Izney. Izney, do you have anything to say about these rounds? What is going on right now in the tournament? What do these rounds mean for us?
So with these rounds, the last three ones, in round 8, there was the Young Master bracket and Grandmaster bracket that were still playing. And then in the final round, round 10, it was just Grandmaster, which was some of the last games played before the finale.
Cool, let's get into it.
This is round 8 in the Young Master bracket, JadeDragonWolf versus Haimay.
Okay, koi openings, both with a dragon push. I think it's interesting the delayed Badgermole bringing the Lotus out from JadeDragonWolf. I'm not sure I've seen that before.
Yeah, usually it's the very first move, so it's interesting to see it later on.
And we see that with a little bit of preparation, they've kind of set it up in a way where that's actually, the Lotus has some places where it can move to. So it's not super stuck. Just like that. Okay. Now that's a very dangerous position for the Lotus to be in. Like, to be on the center point is one thing, and then also to have Ginseng protection is a whole different thing. And two different ways that Jade could win this. What are you seeing as the best ways that Haimay could get out of it from this point, Izney?
So right here, the one way I can see that definitely keeps them safe is moving the lion turtle up to block the Ginseng and cover all areas of potential Badgermole flips or dragon pushes. But yeah, it's scary with that boosted dragon and the Badgermole threatening at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It really limits what you can do to respond.
I didn't even notice that, because I was thinking one thing you could do is just like capture the Badgermole with the koi, but even then the boosted dragon gets in the way, so the lion turtle really is kind of the only option here. Oh, but then they actually do that. Is this going to be a short game, or we're going to see a dragon win right here? Yes, there it is. Wow. We're so good at this, Izney. Like, I mean, you already saw the game. You already watched it. Like, I was able to predict what was going to happen right there. I feel like I'm getting better at Pai Sho. I don't know. Any thoughts about this game?
So I wanted to mention how Haimay put their Ginseng on the mid line. We actually saw them do that earlier in a previous game of theirs as well. And it makes very dangerous scenarios where you have that Lotus protected on the midpoint or the midline at all. So right here, JadeDragonWolf decided to develop their own Lotus instead of potentially capturing that Ginseng on the midline, because the Ginseng by itself isn't very threatening. There's no immediate threat with it. It can't capture anything. So you might think, oh, I should just develop my Lotus and get ahead while my opponent is moving a piece that isn't threatening anything. But then you have the move that Haimay did, which was a very good move.
Yeah. You gotta, like, not just think about what your opponent can do next move, but what they can do 2 moves from now because of what they can do next move, which is kind of difficult mindset to be in. And to be fair to Jade, I didn't even notice the boosted dragon until Izney pointed out to me. So yeah, that's tricky. GG's guys, that's a pretty good game. I especially appreciated that unique opening.
Yeah, that opening was really interesting because that dragon is. Wait. Oh, wait. I was being silly. The dragon isn't being boosted.
Oh. You should just like say, wait, no, it's not boosted, and then I'll just put that in the edit.
Wait. No, it's not boosted.
Oh yeah, that bison's still in the neutral zone. What the heck? And you know, who knows? Maybe in the final edit, I'll include all of that just so that they can laugh at our wibbles.
That would be funny.
Okay, on to the next game.
This is round 9 in the Grandmaster bracket. Duat versus HUMANCHILD. So the interesting thing with HUMANCHILD's opening that I don't see very often is the Ginseng move that they made. It's interesting to move the Ginseng there. I don't see that very often.
Yeah. Why is it there?
I know HUMANCHILD likes to use the bison a lot with its new buff, so they like to put a lot of their tiles in that kind of central red garden area, so they might be preparing for that.
And then Duat also getting the bison in there, making for a good little boost for the koi and the lion turtle. And that's the boosted lion turtle move, right?
Yep.
Getting up close and personal, but not too personal. Still just far enough back to be safe, but not anymore. Yeah, that bison's covering a lot of tiles. That's pretty cool. Makes sense for Duat to respond with protection on the lion turtle.
And something here that is interesting is a lot of the time you kind of just tend to keep your Ginsengs back on that line that they start on so that they can protect each other easily. But as we've been saying, Ginseng fortresses and stuff like that where they're protecting each other is not super important. So Duat is moving it up here so that the lion turtle is able to be more offensive and threaten to capture things while still being protected.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's the thing with the only being able to protect 5 ahead is you gotta kind of be a bit more aggressive with those Ginsengs. Seeing some Lotus action from Duat. Whoa! That was cool. I didn't even see that. That Ginseng just got sniped. So, this is like HUMANCHILD very clearly saying, I don't need my Badgerable as much as I need that Ginseng gone. And there it goes. Oh! I didn't even see that either. Oh my gosh. So by flipping the koi onto the other side, Duat, or HUMANCHILD was telling Duat, hey, like, now you gotta choose which tile you're gonna protect. Okay, all the trading is done. Then we'll see where Duat goes from here. Took some heavy blows from that. The wheel is in there. Get out of the way. We're seeing some possible Lotus development for HUMANCHILD. Oh, that's cool. The main purpose of that is just like kind of disrupting the good positioning of all these tiles for HUMANCHILD, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're such a stoic. HUMANCHILD is a stoic, and they're like, you know what? I don't even need to worry about that wheel. I'm just gonna get my Lotus out of the way. And I feel like Duat's kind of just in this position now where he's like, well, I've got a wheel in there that might come in handy sometime. Oh, a wind threat. So much capturing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting there how Duat decides not to flip the Lotus over the Badgermaw. Because when the opportunity presents itself to flip the Lotus like that, you pretty much always take it because, you know, Lotus development. But
Yeah.
Duat decided that it might make his Lotus a bit too vulnerable, or the jump that he has here is more dangerous.
Yeah, I think he just really likes that jump.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
the thing is with that jump is that it's not a very protected one, so it might have been nice just to kind of inch that Lotus up a bit more tentatively. See, I think it's fun when the Lotus kind of gets into the side of the board that has thinner tiles, like not as many tiles going on, because then it's just like becomes much more dangerous. And that makes it even more dangerous, losing one of them already. Can that go? It can block it, but that lion turtle will negate the koi's ability to freeze, so the koi doesn't have a whole lot of power here. So the question is, can Duat capture the koi and then get out fast enough before HUMANCHILD could stop them from getting that win. There's the capture. And there is some Lotus development. Do they have time for that?
I don't think they have time.
It's just a Hail Mary, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, that you see that frequently. Like, I've seen that in a lot of games where when the Lotus is on that side of the board, where your red garden is with the Lotus, a lot of these sneaky, quick plays can happen that are really hard to see, but once you do see them, a lot of the time it's too late. Like, Duat set up this jump to the midline, and he has his dragon in this garden, and by the time HUMANCHILD sees this, they can't really do anything because they don't have any tiles close enough.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like it's a lot easier to play the right side of the board. Like, with the dragon being able to push the Lotus in and the Pai Sho being able to pull it into the other side, it's just a lot. It just feels better to have the Lotus on that side and all of its supporting tiles on that side. And I can see why that would lead to exactly what you're talking about. It's just like sneakily getting a line going that's hard to prevent. And then it just becomes a question of who gets to that first. GG's, guys.
All right, this is round 10, the final round before the finals. This is when the Grandmasters were the only bracket playing left. So this is Grandmaster bracket. Myself versus Duat once again.
You both have your Lotuses out very quick.
You can see here, again, Duat is getting their Ginseng in, I think, the exact same spot they had last game. Up and aggressive.
Okay, what's the thought process here? Is that just to get a threat on the dragon?
Yep, this is me just taking some inspiration. You know how I'm always talking about I don't see this enough, and I figured I should do this. So I developed my Badgermole and flipped the wheel, so I'm threatening the dragon.
It's funny you mentioned that kind of mindset, because I was just thinking about that. Like, sometimes I feel guilty when I see a good play in someone's game and then I use it in a different game. I'm like, oh man, it's like it's unoriginal. But then I feel like that's totally okay to do that. Like, that's what's kind of beautiful about the development of the game, is that we're constantly finding these tricks and these counters to these tricks. So that's cool that you're exemplifying that. Oh, that's a cool defensive wheel technique. So is this just getting your dragon into kind of a defensive position, getting ready to be boosted and captured when it needs to be captured?
Yep.
That's a very threatening lion turtle. Before the Ginseng, the Ginseng nerf, it was very common, I feel like, to just make the Ginseng Fortress in the background and then get that lion turtle very deep into the other side of the board, just kind of wrecking everything going on over there, because nothing can use abilities.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a reiteration of that, but with adapting to the Ginseng only being able to protect 5 out. Some appropriate protection as a response.
So the idea here was I moved the dragon here originally. It's boosted by the bison, and then so I could capture the Ginseng, but I moved the Ginseng over to protect because one, to protect my dragon obviously, but to open up a jump for my Lotus as well, because my Lotus was a little bit stuck. So I took that opportunity to open up a jump.
Makes sense.
And then actually it's kind of funny. This is very similar to how HUMANCHILD just played against Duat in round 9. HUMANCHILD also used a boosted tile to take Duat's Ginseng that was forward.
Yeah, that's true. It's very similar. There's the capture. Taking the koi out, that's interesting.
Yeah, just whenever I have the opportunity to trade a bison for a koi, I'll take it just because the koi is so valuable.
Yeah, you've expressed the opinion before that you feel like the koi is especially valuable in the end game.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is kind of you preparing for that.
Yeah.
The gradual lotus development from Duat is kind of scary throughout the course of this game. That's a nice capture though. That's very nice.
And yeah, I like this move. This is something we've kind of touched on before on when capturing pieces is appropriate or the best move. Here, like, obviously I could capture back the wheel, but then that just hands the turn right back to Duat and gives Duat the tempo. So instead of capturing back, I move my lion turtle up to threaten the lotus, and obviously Duat's going to protect the lotus, so I can still capture back the wheel later on easily.
Yeah, I like that. I was just gonna comment on that, just like, especially with the wheel, like you can just choose not to have to capture it because of its very limited range.
But this was a very nice kind of counter to that idea that I don't remember if I saw, but I probably didn't see. You move the ginseng up to protect the lotus, but also it's protecting Duat's wheel. So now I can't capture back the wheel.
That is very powerful, yeah. That's pretty good. Interesting, the ginseng flip. Why do you think Duat put the ginseng on the other side?
Well, I moved my orchid up to threaten the ginseng, and Duat didn't want his ginseng being captured.
Is this Badger also threatening the ginseng?
Yep.
Nice. They're just gonna get out of there. Finally, the wheel's gone. What's nice about that too is you already needed that koi to go up, so didn't exactly throw away a turn. Yeah. So what is Duat building here? I'm kind of having a hard time seeing what they're up to.
Well, the bison is nice as always, boosting tiles. Right now, that orchid can capture my koi, which would be a nice trade for Duat. But I'm not quite sure what they're planning on the side of lotus development. I feel like the lotus is kind of just stuck there for now.
And now I'm having a hard time seeing what the wheel is doing there.
Typically, when the wheel goes to the midline like that, it's in preparation to trade at a temple. So I think that's what Duat is planning here. But yeah,
I guess there could also be other tactical reasons for it. Like,
the
thing is that the wheel isn't exactly worth going up there to capture it to make yourself vulnerable to other tiles. So it's like you don't have too much of a motive to go get it, but then at the same time it could be kind of a second layer of protection once you get a tile onto the midline with it.
Yeah, the thing is that's kind of deceiving with this move is it kind of looks like you should capture it and Duat can only capture back with the bison, but actually if Duat times his moves correctly, if I capture the wheel, Duat can capture with the boosted flying badger mole, and then I can capture, and then Duat will capture back with the bison. So it wouldn't work out if I captured that wheel.
Right.
But that can be kind of hard to see.
But you did see it, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Oh, dang. Well, I guess it was kind of a double threat in that way, wasn't it?
Well, I let my lion turtle here be captured.
Oh. Oh yeah, that ginseng went out of...
Yeah. Just
Why?
Because my lion turtle isn't actually going to be that valuable with only one ginseng on the board for Duat and no koi. And the badger mole is nice for Duat here, and I just want Duat to have less tiles here at the center. So even if the lion turtle is typically more valuable than the badger mole, I think this is a good trade for me, while also preparing a lotus jump. Another aspect of this move, this is kind of a lot here, but I plan to use that Ginseng protection to cut off Duat's protection of his lotus, because if you can see, I moved it one up so that I can move a tile to block between Duat's Ginseng and lotus with the 5 space range of protection.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the way that you trade tiles, thinking about what's more valuable to you and what's not in that point of the game. And I think that that's something that makes Ginseng unique from chess. Because in chess, like, everyone kind of knows which tiles are more valuable, to the point where like different pieces have different like amounts of points assigned to them if you're playing for just like a timed chess game. But
in chess, the values of pieces won't really change throughout the game.
Right. But in this, is like very dynamic. There's the trade. Interestingly, not getting the Bajamol back probably sees that same end game power that could come from the koi that you're seeing in it. A nice Ginseng protection on its way out. You've got a pretty good thing going for you here with Ginseng protection out here, so that's very nice. But you don't take it. You're doing this idea that you were talking about.
Yeah, so I really did want to take that jump there, but because that's the obvious idea that I was going for and what I wanted to do. But after kind of calculating it, all Duat has to do is freeze both of my tiles with his koi, and I can't really do anything about that. So I kind of just lose if I take that jump.
Yeah. I mean, the jump is still available to you, is the nice thing. And this way you're kind of just working to weaken defenses against it. That is a rough capture, though. You could have gone for the lotus there, right?
I could have captured the lotus, yeah. But I think getting that koi off the board is better. Because I'm also threatening that jump again, so I really think I have the win at this point. Which is why I didn't capture Duat's lotus.
Gotcha. Dragon is in. Back in that sweet spot. That's an option. Kind of forces you to get out of Ginseng protection if you want to get back to there. Or not. They're just going to keep positioning that Ginseng as much as they can before it gets where they want it. That's interesting. Why did you do that?
So, kind of a lot just happened, but basically, I did that because that jump is what I need to win the game. I'm just trying to get that jump done as quickly as possible.
Gotcha.
So having that jump there is nice, and then also I can put my Badgermole there to flip Duat's Ginseng while my Badgermole is protected, which is nice. And Duat can capture my Ginseng with his dragon, but I'm not worried about that, and I'd rather capture the dragon.
Dragon push instead of a capture. So now you're pivoting to this position to protect your other Ginseng, I'm guessing?
That, as well as threatening to capture Duat's Ginseng with my Badgermole.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which Duat notices the threat.
Which Duat blocks, but I think Duat missed my move here.
That you can flip it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now you just gotta pick him off.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
They're just gonna do everything they can to make things difficult for you.
There, I decided to capture Duat's Lotus there because I realized Duat has both their tiles on my side of the board. There's no way I'm going to be able to progress my Lotus safely. So, I just have this material advantage. I should take Duat's Lotus. And then, here I'm going to trade my Ginseng now that capturing is off the table to get something more useful.
There you go. Do you know why Duat put their bison there?
That is a good question, actually. They could be trying to go back to get their lotus out, but I'm not sure.
Ah, the freaking koi back in the game. How dare. Oh, is that Badgermill just getting ready for the capture in case they ever try to get their lotus out again?
Yeah, getting it there, and also to make sure it doesn't get frozen by Duat's koi.
Just keep that lotus moving up. Oh, another lion turtle. What's the idea with the wheel?
So I just want to trade my wheel. The dragon was blocking it to the midline so that I can get it to a temple.
Okay.
I did want to say here, just something interesting that I was thinking about in this position. These kind of scenarios where one opponent has their lotus in the gate still, I think it's always interesting when I have the option here, like I do. I could flip Duat's lotus out of his gate and re-enable capturing. I've always just kind of wondered like what a position would look like where that would be the best move. Obviously here it's not. That was something I was thinking about the whole time, and I think is still kind of an interesting idea.
Funnily enough, I was thinking about that too. The only big disadvantage that would be is that they get the first capture.
They get the first cap. Exactly, yeah.
What is happening here?
Duat is just bullying my poor wheel.
I see that.
He's just trying to get to a temple.
So rude. Oh, what?
And then here is... Yeah, we decided to call it a draw here. We had a similar position to this before in the tournament, and it reached the 50 move rule, which if you don't know, if a lotus doesn't leave its gate in 50 moves, 50, I think it's 50 moves. It's 50, maybe 50 turns, 50 moves for each player. Anyway, if the lotus doesn't leave the gate in 50 turns, it's a draw. So this was looking to go the same way, so we called it a draw.
Wow. That's wild. Makes sense. It was kind of like not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Any other thoughts on this game?
No, I was proud of my performance, and I thought I had some cool ideas that I wanted to show.
Yeah, those were cool ideas.
But yeah, I think there was a lot of cool ideas and interactions in this game.
For sure. Well, GG's.
GG's.
I think by the time this video comes out, it'll be not Monday tomorrow, but a Monday a week from then. And we will have already streamed the big finale. So, that means if you're watching this, the finale has happened, and a video will be coming out very soon covering all the best bits from that. So, be hyped. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, any other thoughts, Izney, before we sign off?
No, I just want to say this is ending the bracket stage of the tournament, and I thought all the different brackets had some really cool games that were fun to look over.
Yeah, this has been super hype, guys. I've been loving learning more about Ginseng and also learning about how these new rules with the bison buff and the Ginseng nerf and all that, how that has affected gameplay and Ginseng meta. So it's been a good time. All right, well, thank you again, Izney. Thank you you guys for watching. And I'm gonna do that YouTube thing. Don't forget to like the video, comment on it, subscribe to my channel. Especially subscribe if you're here for different types of content. We'll be branching out to different variants of Pai Sho and stuff after this tournament, so that'll be fun. Alright, see you guys later. Have a good one.